Welcome back to Let's Play the New Legend of Zelda 3rd Quest. I'm Nitro6003. Today we're going to take out level 7. But before we do that, we need to buy some bombs. And then I'll explain what the gimmick with level 7 is. That should be good on that. And then I'm going to need a red potion as well. And your best bet is to, because there's an item we can also get prior to going into level 7 as well. We can upgrade our candle finally. And it's okay that I have virtually no money because we're going to be rectifying that shortly. Alright, so we need to get ourselves into Lore Rule. And we need to get an item. And right now I'm just kind of running through these screens really quickly because level 7 is in Lore Rule. And it will pretty much take most of the part, if not the entire part, to do. So just be an FYI on that. I believe there's another potion shop on this screen. Yes, there is. Just like in the original first and second quest. And it was there, I believe, in New Legend of Zelda 1 and 2 as well. So up here, you'll find a whistle spot. We only need 2 more Triforce pieces, and then we can finally go into the Borg Cube. So here is our Lore Rule entrance. And if you blow your whistle, you'll end up back at the beginning of the, at the start, which is kind of a cool thing. Alright, so if you go up here and you shoot that right there, that's where you're going to find your plasma candle. But it's not the strongest candle. But it will help us with level 7. And we're going to want to be spamming that like nothing. So level 7 is in this direction. And yes, there is something here, but we'll get it later when we have a little bit more super bombs to work with. Right now we only have 4, and I want to save them for level 7. So that portal right there is level 7. And it's probably, up until this point, one of the most difficult levels I've ever done. And I'll explain that to you guys as we go. So this just has a clue in it as far as where Matt gets all of his music files. So if you push to the left, you'll actually raft to the left. And you'll find the portal that takes you into Grizzly. And that is obviously the main path, which we won't be able to get to until much later. And by the way, make sure you have an enemy bait. And it's not these rooms that you should be worried about. There's only one room that really worries me, and it's a silver Goma guards the item of this place, plus the boss key, and we'll get to that shortly. Towards the end, I suppose. So we have to get a key first. I mean, this level is pretty straightforward. There's really nothing in it that should be tricky for you at this point of things. So what I might do here in this part is clear out most of the level and then leave the Goma for later, but we'll see how we're doing as far as time is concerned as we get closer to his screen. And everything here takes pretty much 1 heart of damage at this point. And you're wishing you had that red ring and it would be very helpful for him for this Goma, but there's really no way to have it at this point. So there's your key, and now we're going to go back to the left. And there's a lot of dark rooms in this place. Not too many, but there are a lot. And here's where you're going to find your Feed the Garaya room. Not the last time you're going to see him, by the way. And you're probably wishing you had some kind of an upgrade at this point. But... and the gray enemies begin. If I can have close to 500 rupees when we're done with this level, that would be fantastic. And that is where you're going to find your compass. Now this room here is special because this is where your magic container is. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave one enemy here on purpose. And then when we come back here, after we beat the Goma, just F6 back to the start. Leave one there. And I don't have to worry about these guys again. Alright, so to the right we go. And you don't have to beat these guys again if you don't want. And I'm going to leave one enemy in this room on purpose so that they don't all respawn. And as I said, this is where you're going to find your 7th magic jar, and we will be getting back to that shortly. But first, so here you just have some ropes. And thankfully they kind of run into each other, or they continue to run into the fire, so it kind of it makes your life a little easier. And you're going to find a key in here. Make sure you have plenty of arrows. And there's your key. And I'm going to go back to the beginning, recharge my health. Yeah, this level is not easy, so I'm going to be getting as much out of that F6 as I can. And it's not for speed, it's just I really want to keep my health as close to full as possible, and then as few enemies in these rooms as possible as well, so that my backtracking won't take forever. And there are some rooms that will obviously respawn before others. And having one enemy in this room is also a good idea. And like I said, once you open up a path for yourself, it'll be a little bit easier for you. Room like this, unfortunately, there's not much you can do. You have to kill the enemies to open the door. So, but rooms that you don't have to do that, like this one, just, you know, ignore for now. Or at least leave one enemy. I think that's what I'm going to do. Yep, just leave one enemy there. It'll make our lives so much easier. And the quicker you can get through a room like this, the better off you'll be also. And again, this is another kind of room that you can't necessarily leave one enemy. And this room either. Yeah, if you could leave one enemy in this room, it would be quite helpful for you, but you have to kill them to push the block. Full health, full magic, doing good so far. And we may use super bombs on our way back, but we'll see. And yeah, more wall masters in this room. But I mean, other than that, it's really pretty much straightforward at this point. And you really want to get rid of the wall masters because they just make your life harder than it needs to be. So now we're going to go up. And we need to find another key. Now, if I could leave one enemy in this room, that would be cool too, but you have a gold rope here. Gold rope elite is what they are actually called. So now this room could be kind of interesting because here you don't have really much place to hide. And like I said, using your using your boomerang is really what you want to be doing. And that's where you're going to find another key. So now you don't have to go back up ever again, but you do have to go through this room, and that's why you want to clear out the wall masters. You don't want to be dealing with a wall master as you're trying to get through it. I mean, you could leave one in there if you want so they don't all respawn, but that's entirely up to you. And a clock. Love the clocks, guys, especially in a room with a Stalfos Elite, because that's where you're going to just find more money. Next room is a Patra. Hello, clock. And a free pass through this room. And I'm at full health, which is even better. And full magic. Alright, so this room here, you're going to want to kill all the enemies. And try to avoid the drunk bubbles if you can. But they'll prevent respawn, at least. And yes, using all your arrows is probably not a good idea. And you're going to need this key. Now, you don't need to go to the left, and I'll show you why in a minute. So you want to walk quickly through the door. And yeah, there's a drunk bubble just sitting there waiting for me. Isn't that nice of him? But now that I don't have to deal with him anymore, I could just kind of sit right here where it's safe. And this will be another room that you have to kill all the enemies. And it's always that last one that drops the clock, isn't it? So tank this Gleeok. That passage will just lead you backwards. So, I mean, if you're going to do that, you might as well just F6. That's not the passage you want. FYI. You want to go this way. And this is why I consider this like a gray dungeon kind of thing. Because it's very... the enemies are all kind of on the grayer side. And that's a clue as to where level 8 is. And right now I'm doing pretty well on potions and on health. Until I speak of it, and then it doesn't do so well, but that's okay too. Alright, so push that block. Alright, into a Patra room. Yes. You didn't think that they would just send one Patra at you. They have to send all of his brothers after you, too. So kill your Patras and they will drop money also, by the way. And since I have plenty of room for money right now, I think it's a good idea to pick it up. Now this room here, you could do one of two things. You could kill all but one of the wall masters. There are 6 of them. Let them take you back to the start. But there's really no point in coming back up this way. Unless you feel like you can't beat the Goma for some reason, but unfortunately you have no choice. You can't move on in the level until you can beat him, because he's the one that guards the boss key, and not only that, he also guards the item. So that's really where this level takes its toll, and the Goma is in the next room, and you really want to... I mean, if you could have full health going into that fight, you're much better off. And obviously, you don't have to kill these guys again. Ever. You know what? I have an extra key for now. I'm going to use it because I have full health. And I want to kill this Goma. And I think I can do it. So here's what you do. Let him fire at you. And just keep an eye on the screen. That's 1. He takes 5 shots. There's 2. Oh, I thought I had him. There's 3. Oh, potion. Because he takes 2 hearts of damage. That would, if he would have gotten me one more time, he would have killed me. So, that's 3. There's 4. 1 more shot and he's dead. I would say tank him, but not a good idea because he may not open his eye when you want him to. There he goes. Down he goes. Drops a fairy. There's your boss key. Open your block. Grab your power glove. And I made that look much easier than it is. So I'm not exactly... So the more moving you do in this room, the better you're going to be. So now, we can backtrack. And, you know, you don't want to go through this room and lose all your stuff. But there is another key in here. And now we kind of have to backtrack through a good part of this place because I want to get the map. And the map is back this way. So I have 1 potion. I have 300 rupees. I need, pretty much a full wallet, I think. But we'll deal with that later. Thankfully, there are drunk bubbles. I mean, they prevent respawn, so, I mean, that's a good thing. They may not be the most fun bubbles to deal with, but they, now we could get the red ring if we wanted. You know what? Let's let the wall master take me back to the start. Because I need to be over this way anyway. So we can get the map. And the magic container. So nothing in this room, obviously. There's your 7th magic jar. More arrows. And this is where you find your map. Alright, so let's F6 back to the start. And we should be able to finish this level at this point. Full health. And now we're going to finally go to this direction. And yes, there's a homing Goriah in here. And this is why you want your super bomb, because you can take him out in one shot. So that by itself is worth your super bombing needs. You might want to just use your super bomb just for that. And like I said, you don't want to be afraid to use your super bombs. That's why you have them. You're going to want to go down first. And all that for more money. But I'm not going to be coming back up this way, so... And yes... It's a And they should drop enough refills, these Lamolas, for you. Oh, hello, clocks. That's it. Nothing he can do now. Down he's gonna go. Oh, getting a clock in this room pretty early is nice. And yes, you will have one heart container short, and this is what you need your other key for. So, what's the next part gonna be? I'm gonna tell you. First things first, I need to get myself back to the start. And then I'm gonna explain exactly what we're gonna do in the next part. Alright, so next part, we're going to grind. We're going to get all of the money secrets we can. We're going to get the red ring. We're going to get a bunch of other critical items as well. And then we're going to end the part either in level 8 or close to it. And then in the part after that, we're going to take out level 8. I'm Nitro603, and I'll see you guys next time.